Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you are a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Erica Sacoccio here with the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. Sorry this episode is out a little bit later than normal because I'm recording it live. It is August 19th, just about 7:45, and I am in beautiful Warwick, Rhode Island. Couldn't get that out this morning. Have not quite had my cup of tea yet. I want to say that summer has been great. I have enjoyed traveling all over, but I do love back to school time. September is literally my favorite month of the year. I don't know about the rest of you. If you're a teacher, there's a good chance it's your favorite too. Before we dig in today's episode, I do want to make a few shout outs to my listeners in Peaksville, New York, Mustang, Oklahoma, Baltimore, Maryland, Brisbane, Queensland, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Austin, Texas, San Francisco, California, Natick, Massachusetts, Canton, Michigan, Chattanooga, Tennessee, East Lansing, Michigan, who's been with me like probably since my first episode. We're about 420 episodes in. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in. And no matter where you're listening from, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you tuning in day after day, week after week, investing in yourself and our community. So let's get to it before I start to ramble on in the morning. You know, we all get excited about the back to school season, and it's a time that can really feel exciting, but also chaotic and everything in between. And this is your moment as a leader to set that tone for success. So let's break it down on the how-tos that will help you lead with confidence and purpose. First thing you want to do is make sure that you are supporting your teachers with intention. Please don't just hand them a curriculum binder, wish them luck. That's not leadership. Instead, schedule a back to school kickoff meeting where you're going to highlight key curriculum goals, maybe review classroom expectations, and most importantly, listen to their needs. Teachers want to feel seen and heard, especially at the start of the school year where pressure is really high. Build in regular check-ins during that first month so they know that you're not just evaluating them, but actually working along the side of them. This intentional support sets the tone that you're invested in their success, not just holding them accountable. There are so many great programs right now that are out there doing just this thing we're talking about. Actually, next week, I'm going over to Beautiful Beginnings Childcare Center in beautiful Providence, Rhode Island, to meet with Khadijah and her team. And she's doing just this. She's throwing a professional development kickoff day for her staff to get them, re-energized and recommitted to the school year. So if you're not doing that, you should really think about it. Whether you connect with local person who does training, whether you call me, whether you do it yourself, but do something that's fun and gets your folks excited. The second thing you want to do is create a strong family welcome strategy, because it isn't just the teachers who want to feel excited about the new year, also your families. Back to school isn't just adjustment for kids, it's also a transition for the parents. Like maybe you can consider hosting a family orientation night where you introduce your staff, walk the parents through the classroom routines, and answer those first day jitters, answer those head on. And if that's not possible, maybe even a personalized welcome video from you or the lead teacher can really make families feel connected before they even walk in the door. And don't forget to introduce the parent communication app so families know exactly how updates and pictures and reminders will flow. Because when you tell them you have this app, some folks never check it. Some folks check it once in a while, and others check it every hour. So I think it's important to be clear on the way that they can expect updates. And when you're clear and you have a warm welcome, that reduces that anxiety and helps parents feel that trust that we really want them to have, especially that we have their most precious treasure, their child. And if you haven't thought about this, don't stress. If your school day has already started, and you haven't have anything planned like this for families, go ahead and put it on next week's agenda. I don't know why my voice is so wonky today. Maybe because it's super early. Um, the other thing is I want you to lead with clear communication. When it comes to leadership, consistency is king. Parents and staff alike thrive on clear, reliable updates. So make it a habit of posting, scheduling weekly reminders, sharing your newsletters, which mine's going out today, a week early, using the app to deliver daily communication. And a great rule of thumb is if it's important enough to say once, it's important enough to say twice and in more than one format because not everybody uses the same type of communication. And it really is going to be contingent on their families. For example, if you sent it through the app, back it up in your weekly newsletter, and not only does that reinforce the message, but it shows families that you're organized, that you're transparent, and always one step ahead. Some folks even like a flyer. Now, I'm older, so that flyer might be for maybe the guardians or the grandparents who need that reminder at the door, or are a little intimidated by technology, or they're counting on the teacher to communicate. So, like I said, multiple formats. Then the next thing I want you to think about is you need to model the energy that you want to see because your team is watching you, probably closer than you realize. So if you bring calm, positivity, and solutions first to the table, your teachers will reflect that, even in the middle of chaos, right? If it's crazy and you're calm, they're going to be calm. If you're frazzled, they're going to be frazzled. Back to school season will always bring hiccups, right? The copy machine might jam. A parent might forget paperwork or dismissal might run a little late. But when you handle it with grace instead of frustration, you set the culture of how your whole team responds to challenges. And remember, your energy multiplies. So if you want joy, you want resilience, you want teamwork, you got to show it first. Next thing I want you to really think about is keeping the bigger picture in mind. The first few weeks of school can be exhausting. It's nonstop questions, lots of tears, lots of paperwork, new routines. But here's the thing. These weeks are the foundation for your entire school year. So the routines that you set now, the relationships that you nurture now, and the trust that you establish now with families and staff will carry you for months. So take a step back and remind yourself, this isn't survival mode. This is investment mode. So lead with that perspective. And the hard work that you put in now will make everything much smoother down the line. I know I did some shout outs to my amazing listeners at the beginning of this episode, but I also want to give one other special thank you to our sponsors at Jackrabbit Care. Their platform can be a secret weapon in creating strong communication strategies, just like we talked about. Imagine sending daily updates to families, welcoming new enrollments with ease, and streamlining your admin work all in one place. Well, Jackrabbit Care, you're not just managing communication, you're building trust without stress of chasing down those emails and paperwork. So think about that. If you don't have an app or you don't love the app you have, this is the perfect time to take a look at something different. And in my closing thoughts, as you step back into this back to school season, remember, leadership is not about doing it all yourself. It's about equipping your teachers, supporting your families, and setting the tone of confidence and care. When you leave with intention, you create that ripple effect that carries through every classroom, every interaction. So do these things with heart and consistency. You not only survive back to school, but you will do a rock star job. You're going to thrive all year. You're going to keep those seats full, your parents happy, and your staff engaged. So that's it for today's Childcare Directors Chair podcast. If you haven't followed, hit that follow button. And please, 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 please give us a review on Apple or Spotify. It really does help other educators find our program. So hope you have a great Tuesday. Bye for now.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.